1 second. Right. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining into today's session of eMeet Your Design and Fashion School by DQ Labs. Now, the reason why we are doing this session is to keep your plan B open for private design or fashion schools ready, interact with the top management of each school, and save money by applying to a few schools of your choice. We don't want you to apply to too many schools, right? So, but you should know which are the good schools to apply to. And what we have done is we have shortlisted some of the best schools in India, and we've invited them to participate in this session. Now, those of you who have missed this session before, I've done a webinar on private design schools to consider in 2022. So you can click on this link and you will get it. I will share this presentation deck with you in a little while. So today we have invited Strate School of Design to this particular session, and Thomas Dahl heads Strate School of Design. He's the person who's initiated this. If you are, please do first of all go through this webinar, be as interactive as possible, ask your questions. This is your opportunity to ask your questions directly with Thomas Dahl. If you'd like more information about Strate School of Design, you can click on the DQ Edge link over here. And we also have the application form. If you are keen on the application form or applying to Strate School, you can click on this application form and go directly to the school. Right. So Thomas, over to you. Thank you so much for joining in today. Happy that you've made the time to come out here. So thank you for that, Thomas.
Thank you, Leon. It's always a pleasure. You know that I'm always happy to share, about design and to help the young generation to discover a little bit more what design is. It's so important for the future of our lives that there is more and more designers around us that I think that it's important to share as much as we can.
Absolutely. I like the scooter that was there in your yeah. background. That was very interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, you can take it from here. So the format is that you will start off, and I've activated the screen sharing, so you can share your screen if you want.
Perfect.
And students, you all can type in your questions anytime during this session, and we'll moderate your questions in for you. And we'll take it from here. Thomas, thank you. Take it over.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Dion. So I've got first, in order to make it even more interactive, so I don't know if I'm visible, yes, to make it even more interactive, I'm going to ask you, students on the public, the people that are there, what kind of presentation do you want? I've got a presentation that is really about the school itself, like telling you exactly what we do in the school and what programs like that. But I've got another presentation that is more inspirational about design and where design is heading and everything. So which one do you want to see? Dion, which one do you think they would like to see?
Maybe we can ask them. Maybe you can type your preferences out and we'll take a call from there. Okay, so Susan Daniel says about the school.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay, and yeah, we have a request for both as well. So maybe you can mix it up a little bit.
Both will be difficult because, we don't have enough time to go for both. Is it possible to see both? Yes, both. The second one, both design, about the school, please. Both would be great. Okay.
Yeah. So we're doing another thing. We are inviting Strate School of Design to do a workshop with our students. That has been planned later. So at that point of time, also we can go through a session, and there's a session called a day at at Strate School of Design. We'll plan that and we'll let you all know about that. All right. But I guess, Thomas, if we have to choose between the two, then the objective of this session is to know more about the school. So then we can go with that.
I think I will start. What I will try to do, I will try to go to give you the most important things about the school, and then show you more inspirational things that are about design that is coming, if we've got the time to do that. Okay. Because I don't want also to compress too much the time of questions at the end, because I think this is also going to be very important. Good. So let me share my screen with you. About Strate. So basically, Strate is a school of design, okay? And we wanted it to be on the title because we are really a school of design. We are not a university that is having a program of design, okay? We are really a school of design. It's our aim is just to teach design and doing this only. So we are a school of design. We started 30 years ago in the suburb of Paris, okay? We have been known since the last 30 years for being one of the most relevant school of design in the world. Most of our, mostly in transportation, in interaction design, and in products. This is where we really are well known for. Most of the big guys of the big companies are coming from Strate. You will see that I've got a section of alumni. I will show it to you. So we are well known for that. We are ranked amongst the best school of design in the world everywhere. So Strate is a big old school. Okay, let's see this point. We are very well known, not only in France but everywhere. In India you've got very big schools like the NIDs and IIT. Sorry, we are one of them in Europe. Okay, and now we are here in Bangalore. Okay. We are a good school. There are many good schools in the world. Okay, so I'm not going to say that I'm good and the other are bad, because this is not true. There's a lot of these good design schools, but we are different. All the design schools are different, and this is the reason why Dion organized these sessions for you guys. It's for you to understand what is the specificity of each of the schools. Okay, so I'm going to try to show you that during this presentation, what is specific to Strate and why Strate can be interesting for you or not. Okay, depending of what is your aim in your career and what is your aim as a designer. Okay, because at the end of just making brackets here, at the end, what you need to understand is that the name of the school you're going to choose is not the most important thing in your career, in your design career. Okay, the first time and only time where you're going to use your graduation diploma, the paper, is for your first job. All after, during all your move, you transfer into your careers, in the next 40 years of your career, you will never ever again show your papers, your graduation papers. What is important when you choose a school is the network and how you will be taught there. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you here. In Strate, we believe that design is not just a job. Okay, there is accounting. Accounting is a job. You go there, you do your job, you come back, you forget about what you've done during the day, and you do something else. Okay. Design, it's never happening like that. When you're a designer throughout your life. When you're going on weekends, you're going to check things. When I'm going in hotels, I'm looking at the decoration of the hotel. I'm going to somebody give me a new, a new mouse in my hands. I'm checking it, how it's done and all the materials. And so you never stop to be a designer. So it's more than a profession, more than a discipline. And the goal of design is not only to change, to make some styling stuff, to make things looking beautiful. The goal of a designer for Strate is really to change the world. Okay, so and to make it, not because you want to change the world, but because it's necessary and because you have worked enough to make sure that the way that you're changing the world is a good one. So that's why we are very proud of the definition that you can see on my screen here about Strate. This is how we in Strate are the defining design. More than a profession, more than a discipline, design is a transformation force field embodied by demanding professionals, readers, and thinkers of complexity on producing sustainable experiences, providing beauty in human lives. And here, when we use the word beauty, we are not using the beauty as a visual beauty. It's beauty in the poetic way. It means the beauty in the soul, in the human values, it's a global beauty. It's not only the visual beauty. Okay, so this is what we believe in Strate. And our motto in Strate is making the world more simple, just, and beautiful. Here again, beautiful is not visually beautiful, but all the things together. Okay. We also believe that nowadays, you've all noticed that there is more and more of big companies in the world. And they are making one product that are going everywhere. Okay, you don't have like it was like 40 years ago or 50 years ago. A company that is making a grinder mixer for India only, and one for Germany only, and one for California only. Now you've got international brands that are doing one grinder mixer that need to be sold everywhere in the world, and that's becoming a challenge for a lot of designers. Because, so I'm not saying here this is good or bad, this is another discussion, but I'm saying that this is a fact, this is what's happening. So it means that designers, when you're designing an object, a product, a system, a service, a car, it's going to be sold in different continents, in different culture. So you need to be exposed to this different culture as a designer. When Apple is launching the new iPhone, it's not launching an iPhone for China, an iPhone for India, and an iPhone for Europe, and one for US. It's the same machine, and the only thing that changed is the language inside. Okay? So they are making sure that everything they do is fitting for everyone. And in order to be doing that, the teams that are working on this project need to be internationally exposed. Come to some brands. Sorry. Some brands have made some mistakes, in the past about this. There are some difference of culture. Red in some countries is the color of happiness on a wedding. In other, it's the color of death on how can I say that? Doom. When you're doomed. Okay. So colors got different meanings over the world. Shapes got different meanings. Some are reading from up to down, some are reading from left to right, some are reading from right to left. So when you're making a UI UX design on your iPhones and all this, you need to think about that if you want to be international. So there's a lot of things that need to be done in order to be international. So in the students' development for designers, it's becoming now a very, very demanded and requested skill. It's becoming a skill to be internationally exposed. Okay, we see that the young designers that are growing faster in the hierarchy, in the big companies, or even in the small ones, are the ones that have been exposed internationally for many reasons. We can go into this if you want. After, if you got questions, we can go more in details. So that's the reason why a few years ago, Strate decided to open many campuses all over the world. So we've got one international syllabus, which is the same everywhere. And we've got 4 international campuses. So we've got the first one, the mothership, that is Paris. We've got Singapore, we've got Bangalore, and we've got Lyon. Lyon is the second biggest city in France. Okay, so Paris and Lyon are in France. Singapore and Bangalore, these cities, of course. We also are looking at opening in next year. We are opening in Africa, in Dakar. Okay, not Dhaka, but Dakar with an R at the end in Africa. And we are also looking at opening in Mexico. So it might be next year or the one after. We've got some issue with the partners there. So Mexico and Dakar, okay, for next year. And the goal here is one syllabus for different campuses in order to allow our students to move inside the campuses. For example, students doing 1 year in Paris can come do the second year in Bangalore, and then the third year in Singapore, and then go back to graduate for the master's in Paris. Or student doing 1, 2, 3 in Bangalore can go to Paris to do the master's, okay? And it's an easy exchange, or you can go to Paris 1 year, come back to Bangalore, go to Singapore to graduate. The shifting like that from one campus to another is made easy because we all have the same syllabus on the same courses, on the same credits, and the shifting is very easy, okay? And the opportunity that it gives to the students is that you can be exposed very easily to all these different culture. Okay, so this is a view of Strate Singapore. This is a view of Strate Bangalore. So this is a CGI, of course. We don't have the drone view like that of the actual building, but it's exactly the same. It's the first year that we are moving inside this campus. It's in Yelahanka, in the north of Bangalore. It's 60,000 square feet of building. And what you see here at the back is the hostel. You know, we've got our own hostel just near the school. Okay, and here on the first floor, on this side, half of the building on the first floor, there is 10,000 square feet of workshops. Okay, wood workshop, metal workshop, 3D printing, immersive labs, fab labs with 3D printing and laser cutting, for whatever, everything you need to make mock-ups and do like thing like that. This was our first batch in Bangalore. Okay, so students to see here, and now in year 4, second semester. Okay, so they will graduate next year in June 2023. It will be our first batch. Okay, this is Strate Lyon in France. Okay, it's the building of Strate Lyon. So what we do in Strate, okay, in Strate Bangalore, okay, in Strate Bangalore, we are offering a BSc and an MSc in design, okay. And for the one who wants, we can also give you, after going maybe to France and something like that, an equivalence with the RNCP level 7 certified by the French government. It means that if you go for the 5 years with Strate, you get a Bachelor of Design, a Master of Design, and if you want, you can also go to Paris for few, I think it's 2 months, and then you can go another Master from Strate Paris, okay, which will be a RNCP level 7 certified by the French government. Okay. The benefit of this is you got a BSc and an MSc plus the graduation of plus certification from Paris. And if you want, you can at the end get the RNCP level 7. We'll get into this. I'm sure you will have questions about that. Okay. We've got, sorry, it's written 4, but it's 5 departments. 5 departments in Strate. We've got the mobility department, which is basically transportation design, who takes care of everything that carries goods or persons. So if you want to be a transportation design expert, to design the new cars, the new buses, the new bikes, the new helicopters, the new planes, the new trains, the new buses, metro, subways, whatever, okay, this is where you're going to learn how to do that. And you will be linked with the industry for internship and project and things like that. Product design is the other department that we have that is dealing with nearly everything else, everything that surrounds you today. If you look around you in your room, you will have, computers, screens, fans, lamps, furniture. Here I've got my rowing machine. I've got, speakers, mouse, whatever around you, watch, whatever, will be done by the product designer. In product design, we also do some soft goods, okay? Like, for example, I was the head of design and innovation in Decathlon before. Decathlon, the sport brand. And a lot of our designers were working on the sport gears, They were not fashion designers, they were designers, product designers working on, sport gears. Because there is a big difference between fashion, which is looking good, and sport gears or equipments that are needed to be having a function. They need, of course, to look good, but they need to have functions. And this is the work of product designers as well. Okay. After that, we've got an identity department, which is a department that is going to take care of designing, as it's mentioned here, the new relationship with the brands, between the brands and the customer. So all the way a brand and its customer are going to be discussing, exchanging information. So it can be through all the medias. It can be, of course, like everybody else is doing visual communication on logos, posters, and like that. But we are going deeper into Strate. We are also dealing with, the way you're going to manage, to organize, and to program of course, you are not going to program, but you are going to tell someone to program the chatbots. What is the interaction you will have with the chatbot? How is going to be the website? How is going to look the uniform of your salespersons into your retail shops? And you're going to also have your word to say on the retail, all this kind of stuff. When you're working on the identity of a brand, it's not only, you're taking care of the global identity. So it's going through all the touch points of a brand towards its customer. It's very interesting, very deep, and much beyond just visual communication. After that, we've got interaction design. So of course, if you've got questions specifically about all this, we will go further and deeper after that. You can also use the chat. If you've got questions, do not hesitate. I've got the chat box open here. Here. And I will check the question. I'm going to put this here like that. Okay. After that, so interaction design. Interaction design is one of the departments in design that is booming in India right now. Okay. If you look at the job description and job offers, everybody's looking for interaction designers, or UI UX, as everybody's calling them. It's a big micmac. No, it's a big mix. Everybody's calling himself a UI UX designer. So here in Strate, we are really specialized in interaction design. And we are dealing with how people are interacting with machines, but also how people are going to interact with other people through machines, like we are doing right now. I'm interacting with you through a machine. Okay, and we are really super strong into this, and we are going ahead than just UI UX. UI is user interface, UX is user experience, which are the base. But we are also going to, using more technologies into this, because you are all aware of the big revolution of the metaverse that is coming. The immersive universe that Facebook is proposing to all of us soon, and with all the NFTs and everything that is going to come, we will have to deal with it. And there will be a new way of, surfing internet, because you're not going to surf internet in 2D like we are doing today. You're going to surf internet in 3D. It has never been done, ever. So it means there is a full new world to invent, and all the interaction inside this world will have to be invented. So this is a huge change in our world. Okay, so we are very specifically working on that in Strate by forcing our students, not forcing, but pushing our students to go into AR, so augmented reality, VR, virtual reality, gesture recognition, haptic feedbacks. Haptic feedback is when you touch something, you've got a glove that is pushing on your hands in order to make you feel that you're touching something. Okay, all this technology of immersive 3D is something that we are pushing our students to be aware of. Voice recognition, gesture recognition, facial recognition. All this is something that is going to be used very much in the near future. And all the brands will jump into this metaverse very quickly. And this interaction design is going to be a big game changer for all of them. And they need to have good guys working for them. And they need to have Stratos guys working for them. Okay, Stratos is the name of our alumni, because they will be the ones the most ready to work on this. Okay, and after that, we've got the last department, that is space design. And space design is, not interior design, because a lot of other schools will propose to you interior design. Space design is completely different. Of course, it's about, designing spaces of a house, building, or whatever. But the way we approach it is completely different. You're not going to do like in interior design, choosing the color of the curtains on the sofa. In space design, you're going to mix interaction design, architecture, urbanism. You're going to mix smart city. You're going to mix a lot of things together to make sure that the spaces that you're going to design, to deliver, are going to be matching with what people are going to expect. When you go to a space, like let's say you go to a mall, you need to be efficient to do some tasks. Okay, and space design is going to be the space designer is going to be the one that is helping you to achieve the task that you need to be doing in a space easily and happily. Okay, by using technology, using everything, but to try to, or not, or technology or not, but by really trying to make your journey in this space as pleasant and efficient as possible. And this is concerning in Strate mostly public spaces. We are not so much into the private houses. We are more into the public spaces, like shops, malls, hospitals, government institution, administrative buildings. I don't know, gyms and public spaces. Like even a park can be done like this. Even urbanism, like a small part of a city can be done through that. Okay. So these are the 5 departments that we have in Strate. So I'm referring to the chat, and I see some question here. Some of them are, when is the last day to apply to Strate? So we'll speak about that later. Actually, the last date to apply for Strate is when there's no more space. Actually, we've got a limited number of seats in Strate, and as soon as we are getting this number, we are closing admissions. Okay, so now we have lots of application. We are surprised this year. It's like crazy. Okay, this year has exploded. We are multiplied by 4 compared to what we had last year. Okay, I think the school start to be really known now, and I think in 2 months we might be reaching the numerous clauses of our admissions. Okay, so I think if you want to go for Strate, you need to start the process as soon as you can, in order at least to be on the list and not to be pushed out because of the numbers. Okay. So what is identity design again? Okay, I see 2 questions about this. So identity design, I'm going to spend a little bit more time on this again. So identity design is everything that is linking a brand and the customers. Okay, you know that when you're a customer of a brand, let's say you like North Face. North Face is a equipment, for skiing, climbing, and all this kind of stuff. For outdoor, it's an outdoor equipment and clothing company. When you like this North Face, when you're a customer of this North Face, you are going to know about their products. You're going to follow their Instagram. You're going to go to visit their shops. You're going to read their articles. Maybe they've got a Twitter. Maybe they've got a blog. Maybe they've got also, they will be making some posters. The big advertising, 4x3 meters advertising. They will be advertising in the newspapers. There will be videos also, on the TV, advertising videos. There will be YouTube stuff. There will be events. There will be a lot of things that are linking the brand to the customer. All these events are supposed to be aligned with the brand identity. For example, North Face. I should have taken Patagonia. It's more easy. So forget about North Face. Let's say it's Patagonia, my example. Okay, Patagonia. Patagonia is a brand that is really, really hardcore into recyclable products, and saving the planet from wasting and things like that. So, as an identity designer for Patagonia, you will make sure that in all the way you're going to interact with your customers, being all the one that I've just mentioned, events, web, social media, photo, catalogs, shops, the uniforms of the guy inside the shops, all this, you will be sure that all the identity of the brand, on the storytelling of the brand, the values of the brand will be shown. That everything is going to go in the same direction. Okay, so it's very vast. You know, it's a very big job to be an identity designer. Here I see a question: is identity designer similar to graphic design? Yes and no. You know the theory of the iceberg. You know, when you look at on the sea, you see an iceberg, and what you see above the water is not 30% of what is below the water. And I would say graphic design is what the tip of the iceberg, okay, of identity. There is so much more than graphic design in identity. Of course, there will be identity. You will work on the logos. You will work on the graphic, the photography of the advertising. You will work on this, okay? So graphic design is a small part of visual communication, which itself is a small part of identity design, okay? Does it make sense for you guys? I'm repeating this. Graphic design is a small part of visual communication, and visual communication itself is a small part of identity design. Okay? Is it clear for everyone? Use the chat if you want more detail about it. So basically, we are doing transportation design, but we are not just styling cars. We are teaching you how to think about everything else in mobility department. Product design, we are teaching you how to create useful, beautiful, and responsible products for everyone and everything. Identity is the link between the brand and the customer. Interaction is how the technology is going to be involved in our everyday life tomorrow. And space design is how we are going to move in the world tomorrow. Okay, designing public spaces for efficient and pleasant experience. So for the scholarship, I will answer you, Rishikesh, a little bit later. Yes, we've got scholarship, of course, we do, and it will be answered later on in the presentation. Okay. So in Strate also, we believe that designers can't be taught without being in the industry. It means when you're designing a product, of course, at some point, it will have to be built, manufactured, packaged. It has been to be shipped. It has been to be displayed, and it has to be sold, and that is to be used, and then it has to be recycled or wasted. Okay. In order to learn all this cycle, you need to be exposed to the real industry environment. And in Strate, we really want that. We don't want designers that are just going to be crazy artists. We want real designers that are able to do from A to Z a project, from creating a project, having the idea, to create it, build it, manufacture it, maybe discuss with some manufacturers, check the components, and then sell it. Okay, it's a full A to Z skill that we want from our designer. And the only way to do that is to be sure that we have a big link with the industry. The first way of having this big link with the industry is to make internships. We've got a lot of internship in Strate because we believe that what you learn during the school, during the teaching time, is multiplied by 4 when you apply it in the internship. Everything you learn during the courses, when you go into your internship, you then understand why it was taught to you. Oh, this is what they say. And then you apply it, and then you understand and you comprehend better what has been taught to you. Okay, so it's a way of multiplicating what has been taught to you before. So that's why we are really emphasizing the internship in Strate with big companies, always with big companies, in order to be sure that you are mentored by good designers in a good way, and that you are pulled up, in terms of skills, knowledge, corporate skills, corporate behavior, and all this kind of stuff. Okay, in order to be as close as possible to the corporate ready, on a working ready when you will end the studies. Okay, so you can go up to 17 months of internship out of Strate, out of the 5 years, knowing that there is at least one semester, 6 months, that need to be done internationally. It means Strate is going to ask you compulsorily to go abroad for at least 6 months in Strate. We'll discuss about this a little bit later. Okay. So also something that is important to say about Strate is that we are not a school with teacher. Okay. It's weird, huh? A school without teacher is something that is not usual. But we are not having teacher. We have got designers. Most of them are designers, working designers that are, doing design during the week and teaching a few hours a week to our students. And actually, I'm using the word teaching here, but I should not. They are mentoring our students. Because there is a big difference between teachers and professionals. Teachers are teaching you what they learned a few years ago. And professionals are showing you what they are doing, every day. And this is, and also the attitude, when you're a teacher, you're teaching. I'm the teacher, I'm teaching you. When you're a professional and you come to a school to share your knowledge, you share, you're not teaching. And the relationship between these mentors and the students is really something different. And this is part of what we call the Strate spirit, okay? It's really the Strate spirit. The link between the teachers and the student is really something that we are very proud of in Strate. We are having a big bond with them. And the relationship is not only ending with the class, okay? We are having some off-road trips, with the jeeps and everything with the students. We are building bikes together. We are playing football, cricket together, the teachers and the students. So this is really a bond that is not teacher-student relationship. It's something else. And this is why we don't like to say that we have got teachers, but we've got mentors that are mentoring our students. Okay? It's making a big difference. Believe me, the way we teach is making a big difference. Okay, I told you about the industry, that we really want to be close to the industry. And so first one is the internship. Second one is about partnerships. Okay, we've got a lot of big companies that are partnering with us, okay, to give us projects for the students, to give us internship for the students, and to give them placements for the students. Okay. We've got, for example, a big for the transportation design department. We are working this semester with Tata. Tata has provided us a brief, and we are working for them for a car that is going to be presented to their highest management, so Ratan Tata, in 6 months. Okay, so our students, Strate students, will present to Ratan Tata a car in 6 months. That's wow in terms of experience. That's something great. Okay. And everything that is made during the 6 months is going to be sponsored by Tata. It's going to be followed by Tata engineers, Tata designers, in order to be sure that what we deliver is going to be high quality, and that our students will grow and learn a lot from these experts. Okay, so it's a really tight bond with the industry. And we are doing the same thing. Last year it was with BMW. We are doing this also with HFI. We are doing this with a lot of different companies. We are doing this with Decathlon as well this year, Decathlon Bangalore and Cinnamon. Okay. So these are also our strategic partner. Inside this big industry links that we have in Strate, we also have some specific companies that are the big ones, where we got a very specific partnership that are going to help us to grow and to evolve our syllabus. Every year, we are evolving our syllabus according to what our partners are asking us. It means, if we know that 4 or 5 of our interaction design partners are telling us that we should stop this software and go to this one because this is what is the future for them, we'll shift and we'll stop teaching the first software and we'll go for the second one. Okay, so like that, we are sure that our student will always be desirable. Okay, I would not say sexy, but sexy for the employment of these companies. We want to be sure that what we teach is relevant compared to what the industry is looking for. This is what the industry is looking for. This is what we are teaching. If it's not good, then the year after we are matching, and they are going to evolve, and we are matching, and we are matching. We are always evolving our syllabus to be sure that our students are up to date with the market, with what the design market is willing them to be. Okay. On these big companies are also crossing the strategy. What is the future of design? How is the design manager doing inside the company? This is something else, but we are also crossing strategy with them. In Strat, basically, we are, as I mentioned to you, a design school. Our goal is not to take your students, take the money, and give you some color to play with in the classrooms in order for you to be happy, your parent to be happy, and deal with it. Okay. The goal here is to make students that are going to be professional and that are going to change the world. This is what I told you at the beginning. And the only way to do that is to be sure that this student will be hired in the big company. The only way to reach this level of being hired in big companies is to get a super good portfolio. How do you get a good portfolio? You get a good portfolio by doing everything we have spoken before about, to be sure that the students, when they're going to showcase their portfolio at the end of the study, will showcase work and projects that have been done with big companies, with high quality, and that people are going to be so wowed by in terms of tools, quality, visuals, relevance, and craziness and creativity. Okay? And this is what our real aim is at Strat, is to help the student to create their own portfolio. When I'm saying own portfolio is that we don't want all the students to get the same portfolio, because this is, creating a robot designer. Okay, they are all thinking the same, they are all doing the same, they are all coloring the same way. This is something that is useless. Okay, what we are looking at and what we are very proud of in Strat is to be sure that each student will find its own way. It means, when you go through Strat, you can, at the end, want to go to work for Apple, which is a very big corporate. Or you may want to work for an NGO, okay? And to make good around you. Not making a lot of money, but being happy by doing some good stuff for the world. And in Strat, you can do both. We'll teach you, if you want to, how to be a super corporate guy in order to get into Apple. Okay, all the rules, all the portfolio, all the steps that you need to go there. Okay, and if you want to be an NGO, the path will be completely different. Okay, because the skills to be in Apple or in an NGO are completely different. And then we'll teach either or. Okay, according to what each student will want. So it means each student, and this is what we are also very proud of, is in the year 1 and 2 of the school, students are discovering themselves. They are discovering design, but they are also young students, 17, 18. They are not really grown-ups, they are not really adults. So they don't really know what they are going to do with their life. And these 2 years are very important. It's an hinge in their life. And we are trying to help them to understand what they want to do by knowing who they are, what are their skills, what are their weaknesses, and how to work on that, in order for them to really, really, really understand what they want to do and how they want to do it. And then we'll help them through the path. So in a class of 25 students, I would like to say that there will be 25 completely different designers, and we are very proud of this. There's not one way of being a Stratos. There is so many ways of being a Stratos. And this is going to be showcased by your portfolio. And the only thing that is going to be common to all my students at the end is that the portfolio is going to be high level in terms of visuals, in terms of quality, relevance, in terms of the corporate names that are going to be mentioned and the portfolio in order to be linked to big companies and to showcase. Okay, so this is something that we are very, very proud of. We are also partnering with 50 schools, so we are allowing our students to make some semester exchange with 50 schools all over the world. We've got an international board of advisory, okay, with some students, some very, very high persons. So David Carvalho, there is an A missing here. David Carvalho, there is an A here between the V and the H. Sorry, David Carvalho from Pininfarina. AJ James, that is in Tata Motors now, in the Innovation Center. And Philippe Bay, with the product design, the head of product design for Carrefour. Carrefour, I don't know if you know it. I'm not sure they are in India. It's the second biggest retailer of the world. The first one being Target. The second one is Carrefour. Okay. We are part of the World Organization, World Design Organization, okay, which is discussing about what design is supposed to do and how we are supposed to teach design in the world. And we are part of Cumulus. Cumulus also. Cumulus is the organization of all the design schools all over the world, and we are sharing with each other, the good. How can I say that? The good way of teaching. What we tried, what worked, what didn't work, and all this. How to evolve and to better the way of teaching design, okay, design education. So how to join us? Of course, there is different way of joining us. We can join us after a diploma, 3 years diploma from a recognized institution from any fields, and you can join us after a 12 standard, okay, with 50 passed from a recognized board from any streams. So this, if you look at the data like this, 50 pass from any streams look like we are open to anyone, which is not the case. You should not look at this way. We are open to everyone, yes, but not to anyone. Okay. It means that we know that design is a different field than being an engineer. The way your brain should work to be a designer should be different than to be an engineer, okay? And I know, because a lot of my friends were like that, I was like that. I was very bad. I was very bad in school. The equivalent of your 10, 11, 12. My parents were so, worried about me, that what are we going to do with Thomas, okay? They were scared because I was having bad results. I managed to go through my 12, equivalent of 12, in French, baccalaureate. So I got this 50, I think I had 52 or 53, something, just pass. And I went into a design school. And in this design school, it was meant for me. Suddenly I bloomed, like I found myself, and I was the first topper of my class during 5 years. And I graduated as a topper. So what I mean by that is that students that are bad in school can be sometimes very good designer. I'm not saying that all of them will be. I'm saying that can be. And this is what we are trying to do in Strate, not to be the one that is saying, oh, if you don't top in the 12 standard, you can't be coming to our school. Because we know that we could miss very, very bright design brains if we do so. Okay? That's why our admission level is only 50 pass, because we want to be sure that we are not going to miss the next super genius in design that was not happy in school. Okay, I hope you understand. And after that, of course, we've got our admission process that is going to be sure that the guy was not only bad in school because he was bad in school. Okay, we've got our admission process for that. So there was a question about scholarship. Okay, so we've got 100% scholarship available. We've got a program that is called iLead Scholarship. Okay, iLead Scholarship is a project-based allocation. It means we are going to ask students that are applying to Strate to submit a project that they are going to do. So the rules for this project, this competition, I would say, is on our page, Strate page, strate.in, so strate.in. And you go on the tab on the top, you will find one tab called Scholarship, and you will have all the rules about how to apply on this project-based allocation scholarship. Okay, and it can go up to 100% of your fees. It means that if you go for the bachelor, 3 years, you don't pay. You don't pay anything during 3 years. Actually, it's not true. You don't pay anything. You just pay the registration to your university, which will be 20,000 rupees, I think, and something like that. And don't take my words on the numbers. I'm not a number guy, so I don't know. And also some exam fees every semester, which will be maximum 2,000 or something like that every semester. So during 6 semesters, so 6,000, 12,000 plus 20, so around 40,000 if you got a 100% scholarship. Of course, not everyone will get a 100% scholarship. And there will be every other levels, from 5, 10, 25, 40, 70, 100%. There will be different levels. And according to if your project is really, really cool and really good, then you got 100%. If it was just, even if it's the best, if it were just okay-ish, you will get a 50%. Okay, so this is really project-based scholarship. And after that, if you go to the same page, strat.in, in the scholarship tab, you will also find other scholarship that are there based on different criteria, like any other school or any university, like toppers or nothing like that. Okay. Yes, I see there are questions. So you also can enter for the one that are not happy. You know, we've done that a lot last year. Some students were not happy from other design school and decided to shift back to Strat from other schools, from different other schools, even the most well-known ones, the national ones. They shifted back to Strat after 1 year, not happy in their school, so they shifted that. So we've got these lateral admissions if you want to join Strat in second year, and if you want to join Strat in third year as well. Okay, you can join us if you feel that you will be more happy and more well-trained than in your actual school. After that, the admission process. How does it work? So the first step is the application. Online on the website that I just give you, strat.in. You will get an application form that you need to fill and pay 2,000 rupees, I think. After that, when your data has been verified, you know, if you're coming from a good, not a good, but a recognized board and everything that is validated by the university, then we go for the interview. And this is where the real selection happens. Okay, we don't have any tests because I don't believe in tests. Okay, we have an interview, face-to-face interview. Okay, screen to screen sometime during the pandemic, but face-to-face. And we spend 1 hour, 30 minutes discussing with every single applicant. Okay, and we are very good into this, and this is where the real selection happens. Okay, during this interview. As soon as you pass the interview, you will receive, you know, after 2 or 3 days, you will receive your results. Are you selected? Are you matching with the spirit of the school? Are you being given a second chance, or are you just not matching with the school? Then after that, you've got the admission, and after that, you can wait a little bit, you know, to see your other plans, if you've got any other plans, and then you have to, at some point, register to the school in order to secure finally your seat. Until the step 4, your seat is not secured, and if someone secures your seat before you, then you might be pushed away. Okay. As I mentioned, we've got a limited number of seats for this year. It's 75. Okay, it's very small. Huh? It's very small, 75 seats only for this year, all streams. It's because Strat is a quality school. We are not a number school. Okay, there are some other schools that are taking 2,000 students a year. Okay, I call it a factory. We are a school, and we are teaching only 75 students every year. It was 45 last year. This year, we are making a big step to 75 only. We are taking 75 only. There will be no 76, 77, 78. No, it will be 75 max. Okay. So this is the limit. Okay. I'm seeing some questions there. I'm going to speak about placement after. I'm going to speak about virtual reality. Is it a certified degree or diploma course? It's a degree, a graduation that is recognized by the UGC, so University Grant Commission from India. So the Bachelor of Science, BSc, is recognized by UGC. The Master of Science in Design is recognized by UGC. So they are Indian recognized graduation. Okay. And at the same time, with this, you've got school Strat Paris certificate, okay, with credits and everything. Okay, so you've got both the graduation from UGC, that is an Indian graduation, and you've got at the same time the certificate from Strat Paris. Okay, so it's a both. Is the portfolio reviewed during the interview? Yes, it is. But during the interview, we are not really, how can I say, skill-based. It's not a skill-based interview. It means we have hired this year, we have admitted students that were not good in drawing, painting, 3D skills. The skill level was very average. Okay, and we took them in. And at the opposite, there was some students that were super good in skills that we refused. So the skill is not what we are looking for. Okay, what we are looking for, and this is what we evaluate during the interview, is how you think. Because skills, we are a school. We can teach you. We can teach you how to paint. We can teach you how to draw. We can teach you how to use the software. We can teach you that. This is why you are paying the school. Okay. So even if you don't know how to draw, and this is happening this year, we've got year one students that don't know how to draw, and they are holding their pen like this, when they come to the school. So it's not really a good way of drawing. And we are teaching them. And after 1 year, they know how to draw. Okay. So skills are not the base of our recruitment. What is our recruitment about is about how you think and how you understand the world. Okay. Because this is something that you can't teach. Students when they are 18 years old, they have been told this by their families, their friends, their surroundings, and everything. This is difficult. You can bend a little bit the behavior, but you can't flip it. Okay, skills you can always teach. I can teach a monkey to draw. Basically, I've got so beautiful teachers that could teach a monkey to draw. Okay, so whatever the skill level of the student are coming into Strate, they will be good at the end. I've got no issue about that. What is difficult, and I mention it again and again because this is really important, is how you think. And this is what is going to make the difference to get in or not in Strate, not your skills. So if you are very smart and you think well, and you've got super skills, then hallelujah, of course, you will be welcome in Strate. Okay. But if you're super good in skills and don't think well, you will not. Okay. Is it making things clear about the portfolio review? I think. I've got some question here about placements. I will tell this after. What time is it? I need to check the time as well. Yes.
Yeah, we have a last few minutes left, so
yeah. So I'm going to answer
many questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to answer the question while I'm going through some visuals here done by the year 2 students. So it's not even the year 4 that I'm showing to you. It's the year 2 students, just to show you what student can do when they start from nothing after 2 years in Strate. Okay, 2 years only in Strate. Okay, so and at the same time, I will answer some questions. Could you please let us know which are the top design stream for which Strate School is known for globally? So, as I mentioned, we've got different campuses in Strate, and different campuses are known for different things. In Paris, we are super well known for transportation design because we've got all the infrastructure around. We've got Renault, Peugeot, Citroën, and a lot of other brands that are just 5 minutes around the school. The design studios are 5 minutes around the school, so they are really, really involved in Strate Paris. So Strate Paris is super, super worldly, globally well known for for transportation design. Strate Lyon is not doing transportation design at all. Strate Bangalore is, and we are also very, very good. And we're starting to be very good because a lot of companies of India are jumping into us and helping us to grow our department and to be better. We are super known in Strate as well in Europe and in Bangalore as well for our interaction design. Our interaction design students in Bangalore have won a lot of interaction design competition last year during the pandemic. They've won mostly, I would say, 50 or 60% of all the competition that were about that. So we are super well known for interaction design in Bangalore. We are very good in product design because our students got a different approach from the other school. Space design is pretty new, so I can't tell you. We are opening this year only the space design in Strate, Bangalore. We are well known in Europe, but so basically in Strate Bangalore, we are super known for interaction. We are starting to be very good in India for transportation. We are winning a lot of competition as well. Product design, we are pretty good as well. Okay, these are the three best ones that we are. Identity, I can't really tell you where we stand compared to the others because we are not doing what the others are doing. Okay, so it's difficult for me to compare because the others are doing graphic design. And as I mentioned to you, we're doing identity. So we are not fighting, when we are trying to place our students for the same. They are looking for graphic designer. We are looking for identity designer, which is generally 1 or 2 level up from it. So we are not fighting on the same level. So I can't tell you where we stand here because there's no competition for that yet in India. Okay. So this is some work for, actually this is year 4, okay, year 4 students. This is what they do. So this one is a brand identity for a restaurant. This is interaction design. This is space design for a floating village after flood in Bangladesh. So how you can build a floating village with floating crops and everything. And this is a product design for a high-end watch that is using, you see all these little dots here are metal dust. And what is moving is a magnet that is there, and it's called nebula. Okay, because there is a black hole in the middle. Whatever, it's super, super well done. Very, very nice product. This is the result of transportation design. Okay, transportation design work. So motorbike for Audi, of course, it's a prospective project. This is Ecanoplan. It's a plane that is flying 2 or 3 meters above the water. So it's a specific way of making a flight. This is a spaceship because sometimes we have fun, and this is a Bugatti car. Okay. Do we have fashion design? So no, we don't have fashion design in Strate, but we are partnering now with a school called Atelier Chalon Savard. That is one of the best fashion schools in Paris that is joining us in our building from next year. So if you want to get in touch with that, you can also contact us. We can give you a contact with Atelier Chalon Savard that is opening this year in Strate with us in the same building. We are giving them some space while they are building their own building that is going to be just the next door to our place. Does the Bangalore campus have a program in animation design? No, we don't. We don't have animation design because it's a different job. As I mentioned to you, we don't want to expand just for the sake of expanding. We want to remain one of the best school of what we do. We want to remain one of the best in what we do. So we want to stay focused. We are not good in animation. I don't have a big network in animation. So I don't want to open to something that I don't master. So for now, we are not having any plan in animation. Okay, so I'm sorry for you guys. If you want to do animation, Strate is not going to be able to help you in your careers.
Thomas, there's one question from Jyoti, who's asking, does Strate recognize NIOS board? That's if a student does class 12 in NIOS, not CBSE or ICS.
So it's open schooling, huh?
Yes, yes.
So we do, I think, so I'm not super accurate into this. I think there is 2 boards for NIOS, so for open schooling. I know that we are okay with one of them, the other is not. So if you want more details about this, we can get you in. If you give me the details on the name of your board, I can get in touch directly with you and tell you if we can accept this board. But there is 50% chance that yes, because I know that there is 2 and one of them is okay, the other one we can't. We are partnering with a university that is called Jain University. And this is we are following the rules of admission of Jain University. So and this is one of the rules of Jain University. They are recognizing one of these 2 and not the 2. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just looking at the questions here. Maybe if you go to the question, it's the last 5 minutes. So, can students passionate about animation learn from Strate? Is a similar program offered in Strate? So, yes, actually, a lot of students that are coming to me say that, oh, I like animation, I like anime, I like what is this? The guy that is extending his legs, one plus or no one whatever, want something, I'm sure you would know. So they are liking this, they are drawing a lot of face on mangas and things like that. But we want to do animation. And I tell them that we can't do animation. And we discuss about it. And most of them, at the end of the discussion, they realize that they are not really willing to do a career in animation, but they want to do something creative, you know. And what is something that I forgot to tell you about Strate is that you don't have to choose when you enter Strate. You know, I told you about 5 departments, but actually you don't have to choose when you enter Strate. I know that students, when they are 17, 18 years old, they're not really sure about what they want to do. Okay, they want to do creative stuff, they want to do design, but they don't know if they want to do product design, transportation design, interaction design. They don't really know. So what we do in Strate, in order to help them to understand that, during the first year, when they join, they are not transportation designer, product designer, interaction designer. They are just design students. Okay. And we are teaching them all the base of design that are nearly the same for all the streams, okay, for 1 year. But at the same time, we are exposing them to the 5 streams. It means they will be doing some project of transport. They will be doing some project of interaction. They will be doing some project of identity, space, and interaction, identity, space, product, and transport. Okay, they will do these 5. And at the end of first year, we'll say, okay, now you've been exposed to 5, choose only 3 out of them. Okay, so they choose 3 out of the 5. On the next year, the second year, we'll guide them even deeper. We'll expose them deeper into these 3 streams that they've chosen. And at the end of the second year, they will choose 1 only out of these 3. And this one will be the one that they are going to specialize in the last year of bachelor. And it's going to be hardcore. The last year of bachelor is really hardcore. It's full speed, hardcore, to really specialize. So there is many benefits of this, is that we are sure that students will have all the, the knowledge and all the understanding of what they are choosing. Because most of the time, you know, when they are 17 and they need to choose something, they don't know what to choose, and there is somewhere in the building a wise uncle that is coming to the house and say, oh, you should choose product design because I feel that it's good. And then you go for product design. And then after 2 years, you realize that it's not what you want. So here, by doing this, you know, exposing you to 5 and then to 3, and then make you choose only 1, we are sure that you've understood what you want, what you can, and what is the best for you. Okay, and then you choose wisely. And the other benefit is that as you have been exposed to all the other streams, when you will be in the market, you know, in the job, and you will have to collaborate with other designers for other streams, you will understand them. You will know what to expect from them, and you know how to work with them and things like that. So it will be making you a better design team player, which is the first route to be a design manager. Okay. So this is very, very important. And this is what we do in Strate. Dion just reopened his camera. I know that it's meaning that my time is over. So
well, I think we've covered pretty much all the questions. But I think one question which is a little important, I think we can end with this question. What is the difference between the BDes and the BSc degree, right? So, yeah, this is an important question. Yeah.
This is a very important question because it's happening a lot. You know, we have a lot this. So I'm just going to go whatever. These are the alumni. You don't need to. Okay, alumni. Okay, I'm just going. You can check the names. You can check the names. These are some. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to answer this question. Okay, so basically, why did Strate choose a BSc and MSc instead of a BDes, MDes? If you are, you know, looking for design studies, I'm sure that you know that a BDes, MDes is a 4+2. BDes 4 years, MDes 2 years. Okay, so total is 6 years. In Strate, it's a French school. Okay, as I told you, we have been doing this course in 5 years since 30 years because this is the way we do it in France. This is The graduation system in France is 5 years to get a master, okay? And I told you that we want students to go from one campus to another, okay? So if in Bangalore, we are doing a 6-year course, when in France it's a 5-year course, the transfer from student to student would have been difficult, okay? When the first-year student will go to first to second year in Bangalore, he will repeat a lot of things. And when after first year, the student from Bangalore will go to second year in Paris, there will be a lot of things that they will not have seen. So matching the 2 syllabus into 5 years each was a big priority for us, okay? So that's why we went to BSc, MSc, which is 3 plus 2. And taking this decision was pretty simple because, everybody was telling us, be careful, be careful. Everybody like BDes, MDes because they are more fashionable. It's better to say that you've done a BDes than a BSc. BSc is, for most of people, it's not considered so good. Okay, but actually, if you look at the design world, on the design recruitment process, nobody cares about your papers. Nobody cares about what graduation you carry. What they are looking at is your portfolio. Okay, your portfolio, as I mentioned in my presentation, is your ID card. You've got a great portfolio, a super great portfolio, BSc, BDes, who cares? They will hire you. If you come with a super big BDes or MDes from a super good university, national design school from India, and your portfolio is bad, nobody will hire you. Okay? So this is different. When you are looking at skill-based education, the graduation itself, the paper, got no value. So when you're looking at a BDes, MDes, would have been 6 years on giving us a lot of trouble for shifting our students, on blocking them for having a good experience of shifting from one country to another, it would have been a lot of drawbacks for just one very small benefits to please the parents, that they would be able to say, oh, my son is doing a BDes instead of my son is doing a BSc, okay? But it's not going to change a lot the way you're going to approach your working life, as I mentioned, because your graduation is not going to be looked after. I've never shown my graduation to anywhere. The first time I showed my graduation in my life, in my professional life, was when I applied for a visa to come to India. Okay, they asked me to show my graduation. So it was 30 years that it was hidden somewhere in my mother's cupboard, so I was super scared because I couldn't find it. But finally I found it. And this was the only time it went out of this cupboard, out of 30 years. So really in design, and it was like a long time back. Today it's even more, Google, Facebook, and all these companies now, on a lot of Amazon, even smaller ones now, they are not recruiting you based on what you have done, but they are recruiting you based on what you can do. And this is making a big difference in the way the recruitment is going to happen in the coming years. So if you continue to look at the recruitment like it was, you're going to miss the opportunities that are coming. And this is what we thought about this in Strate. And we know that it's not going to be a drawback for our students to have a BSc instead of a BDes. And we see all the benefit of this. So this is why we did not hesitate more than 5 minutes to take the decision of offering a BSc, MSc instead of BDes, MDes. Also, you would say that, yes, but 6 years of course will be always giving you a best level than 5 years. No, that's not true, because our 5 years are, linear. It means when you start from 1, you go to 5. If you look at a BDes, MDes, actually the first year of master is a ground breakup. It means students are coming from engineering with no knowledge at all in design, and they are starting from ground zero. And in 2 years, they are supposed to be good designers, which is never happening. If you're coming from engineering and going for master in design, it's never happening unless you go to a school that have a program specifically taught for that, which is our case. And our MSc is not a real MSc, like whatever. I'm not going to go there. I think Dion is already doing the eyes, so I think I've overshoot my time. So
yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make those eyes. Those eyes were not for the time, but although we have run out of time.
yeah, so I'm sorry for that.
No worries, no worries. I just need to get into the next meeting. So,
Okay.
but Thomas, thank you so much. I think it was a brilliant session today. I hope it was useful for a lot of our parents and students who've attended here. Please do consider Strat. We think it's an awesome college for you to consider, and that's one of the reasons why we put them in this series in week 1, and looking forward to having a lot more interactions with uh, Thomas and the team at Strat in future.
Thank you very much, Jan, for the opportunity.